Okay, so mopping up. So the heroes eradicate all the bad guys that are in the armory. You've got one of the tank that's working. And the tank works for about another 10 minutes. All of a sudden you hear something go and something inside the engine goes clunk.
Oh, that's not good.
It's out of gas.
Unless something fell out.
Well, think about it. How long it's been sitting in here?
True.
The gas is probably evaporated by this point. There's not much left.
True. Okay.
So, are any gas tanks in this place?
Nope.
Well, fuck me raw.
Okay.
The goal was next to get to the lift, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, so we can...
So you get to the lift. Now, the ostriches are still charging. They will not be ready for another few hours.
Okay.
If anybody jumped down, I was going to let you have like a round of movement every... I was going to have you have a movement every round. You have to roll to see if there's still enough power for the next round.
See, that's the problem. We have to wait and wait and wait and wait.
Now, we heard from Percy, so...
Tell Percy to get towards the entrance.
Yeah, it's like, Percy, where are you?
I'm in the command... I'm in the command
its own
zone.
thing.
I'm sorry. I'm in the communications room on the first floor, just like you told me to be.
Okay. And the Assaultron was in the control...
It's in the computer core.
Computer.
Further down.
Does he have the ability to do life
Okay.
sensors, like life science sensors?
To a degree, they're not really very accurate about it in Fallout, and they go back and forth about what it's like. I just basically some basic sensors like thermoptics and things like that. He'd be able to tell if something's living or not.
Okay, can you find the dog and the girl?
And the whole...
That is sort of like
it's a
Star Trek
little-
level sensors. No, it had to be something you
Yeah,
perceive within
no.
human range.
Yeah, he's got a certain range. That's
But
what he-
I still haven't heard what it is exactly we're doing, other than
Yeah.
right now you're talking on the radio
Other
to
than-
Percy.
Yeah, because I want to find out some information.
Okay, so is
from
Bert
Percy.
asking questions over her radio link to Percy?
Yeah, Burke, can you find the crazy chick that attacked the priest over here? Is there any way you can tell if there's a live human running around?
The Vault's sensors report that there appear to be just mechanical apparati currently operating through the security systems and the hallways, other than Mom and her friends.
That's not good.
Stop picking up the dog.
Basically,
unit.
just said the only life sense he has.
Yeah. We're the only humans left, so the chick is dead.
Or
got out.
Or it's not a human. Or she's not human.
Or she got out.
Something like that. Percy, for the
But it also means you don't have
what
any,
kind of computer capability
he
do you
said
have in the
only
communication
some
center?
people, so that's probably still left. But it
Not
also
quite sure I
means
understand what it
ours
is you're
no
asking him to
raiders
do.
left.
Like,
Right.
would you have any way of being able to get some kind of visual up on the computer control room or something like that?
Oh,
So we can-
this vault actually does have cameras. Hold on. And he pulls up all the cameras. Yes, I see quite a bit of... Ew.
Goo.
Ew. Bug guts. How untidy. Ooh, more bug guts. And... Ooh, more bug guts. And...
Okay, we know
oh
there's
my,
a lot of...
look at the lines on that one.
Percy,
Good
focus.
construction, I said.
Percy,
What?
focus. You can get your heart on
I'm
later.
sorry, Mom. There appears to be an Assaultron, quite a well-made one, down in the computer core.
Do you want to go flirt with her or something? She'll probably blow you up first, just saying.
Well, Mom, we should probably make it clear to her that things are different. The United States no longer exists and all that kind of stuff. And one thing at a time before there's any,
Well, if you can convince
dalliances.
if you can convince her to be friends, by all means, try.
Something weird, though. I am reading 2 spikes of Z radiation in your local vicinity.
Eh?
I'm showing 2 spikes of Z radiation in your vicinity.
Ask him what Z radiation is.
Do you have any idea what Z radiation is,
According to
Percy?
computer files, Z radiation is a hitherto unknown, by which they mean by 2077, a hitherto unknown form of radiation on the highest part of the radioactive quantum band.
Oh.
In other words, the stuff...
English
Does-
translation.
Alright, so when we talk about quanta means a range.
amount.
The word literally means a range.
Okay.
Alright, which means that there's something here I cannot precisely define, but I know it's between these 2 things.
Ah, okay.
Alright, that's where we get the term quantum from. So when we're talking about quantum mechanics, we're talking about things that we can't exactly prove, right?
Right.
Right, so radiation quantumly emits, which means that the different forms of radiation all emit in this kind of weird pattern that we sort of define them not by themselves, but by the effects we see going around.
Okay.
This radiation is on the upper end of that band. It's towards the upper end of what we cannot detect, which means it would be incredibly condensed, incredibly powerful, it would be radioactive for longer periods of time than normal, than what we're used to. I mean, if you think like the half-life of uranium's like what, like 20-some years or something?
Yeah.
Then the half-life of this would be like 50 or 60 years. It's essentially it's incredibly potent radiation. And there are 2 spikes of it in your local vicinity.
And it's emanating. Ask them if it's emanating out of me.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, probably from you and
Well, the vault
and
sensors aren't that detected. I'm picking up from their radiation detectors. They just note the presence of it in the room you're in.
You and the Emma.
And possibly that little portal thingy, Mabata, that's sitting there.
Edda.
So.
Remember how she reacted when we opened up the reactor?
Oh,
Yeah, she
Sure
fainted.
okay.
Yeah, how much you would bet she got a good heavy dose?
True enough, true enough. Okay, so I don't necessarily want you to go like toe-to-toe directly with the Assaultron because she'll probably blast you to pieces, and I don't want you to die.
Well, Mom, I don't have to. She's down in the computer control room and seems not prone to leave it. I'm guessing they programmed her to defend it.
Well, then by all means,
Good,
win her
so-
over, flirt. Tell her about the facts of life.
I
Could
don't
your
know the
robot-
flirtations in my program.
Could your robot override that thing and reprogram it? Put it in the passive mode?
You'd have to get close enough, which would mean going into
Ah.
the computer room and then getting blasted to pieces. And I'm trying to figure out a way of him,
No,
like,
let Percy just see if you can talk her down.
yeah, see if you could set up a communication
It's like, can
or
we have this
something.
conversation perhaps in actual presence of your robot rather than away from it?
True enough.
I don't know about you all, but I
we're
wanna
working. Yeah, I figured we were talking while we were walking.
I hadn't heard anybody actually declare they're getting up
I'm
out of the
sorry,
room
my
yet.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just get on the elevator, get up to the surface, and do the
Right,
walking.
so you go to the
talking.
lift. The lift is powered because you got the power reconnected. It takes you back up, and it actually opens up under a screened and camouflaged awning, so that they could deploy without being seen from satellites or whatever. You can then walk back down back into the facility, and there's Percy. Percy's fine. On the way back into the facility, you hear something go. Hip, hip.
That's the dog.
The dog.
Oh.
Yes.
It's actually outside the facility, which is why he couldn't detect it. And it comes walking up to his character. Yip, yip, yip. Jumps up and you're like, yip, 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 yip.
And we're gonna name him Yippee.
The dog knows me.
Yeah, we're gonna name him Yippee.
It's
Do I
Your
remember the dog at all?
No.
There was no mention of the dog in the files?
Oh
The
yeah.
dog was
it
mentioned.
It
Yeah.
was mentioned that loyalty was its strongest
Yeah,
trait.
it
It was like
expresses
weird.
abnormal loyalty.
So it's really loyal to you. Congratulations, you now have a pet
Congratulations, you have a child. Mazel tov.
Does it have a collar or anything? Does it have an identification tag or anything?
It had a collar with diamonds on it, remember?
Yeah, is it a
dog.
boy
What
or
was
girl?
the what was
It
the
was a
name
little
of it?
female dog.
Mazel tov. It's a girl.
Fifi.
Fifi,
Fifi?
that's what it was. I was
Okay.
trying to remember. I'm like,
Classic
what was its name?
Fifi.
Just going Fifi now. I'm pretty sure I called it something different the first
Alright, so
session.
I
Right
pet-
now it's Fifi.
I pet Fifi and pick her up.
You lean to go to pet Fifi and she disappears from sight.
Okay, Matt,
Yes.
help. What's going on?
And there's kind of this weird hazy distortion of the sunlight there.
It has a stealth field?
Oh, it's got. Yeah, I was to say it's.
It's in stealth mode.
It reappears. Yep, yep.
Well, no wonder I managed to avoid the rad scorpions.
Yeah.
It just went invisible. That's handy. We can use that.
and
And
it actually knows when
That
to
is like
do it.
the dog has a stealth boy.
somehow,
And
Maybe
it-
it's the collar. Who
unless
knows?
it ate
And
it.
it's the dog.
and it's activating it at will.
She looks up at the sky just like,
You know what?
explain, please, God, explain.
Just pick up the dog.
I did. I tried.
You pick up the dog.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She's
Oh.
invisible, not insubstantial.
Wait a second. Hold on. Let me see. Why do I get the feeling this dog could understand me?
Yes.
If you can understand me, bark twice. Fifi.
What?
Okay.
Don't think it's that smart.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We're dealing with weird things here.
True enough. True
Yeah,
enough.
okay, yeah. I mean, we are dealing with giant scorpions.
So does it have
break
a
the laws
does it
of
have a
physics,
stealth
whatnot.
boy on it that I can?
You don't see a stealth boy. It's a very large, cumbersome, satchel-like type device.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
But the collar seems weird.
Don't mess with the
Now
collar.
that you're holding, you actually look at the collar. The collar seems like not just like a little leather bauble.
Well, I'll leave it for now.
If you had a higher sciences skill, I would reveal how it's doing it.
Keep it away from Bert.
All right. So you walk back into the complex,
I do
and
not
Percy.
want to blow it up.
So you walk back into the complex, and Percy's in the communications room, and he is essentially doing his thing there, monitoring all the systems and stuff.
Can I heal myself?
Yeah,
I've
some
got-
packs would be good.
Yeah. I have 2 healing powder. What would that do?
Healing powder replaces one wound each, but it lowers your smarts temporarily as it
Oh.
dulls your senses and your perceptions.
Oh, that would
Mm.
not be a good idea, but I'm out of stim packs, so I'm gonna have to borrow.
I'll just give you one of mine. I have
Yeah,
8.
well.
I have 8 of them.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Now I got 7.
Now you do realize, of course, except for Edda, which I have actually grown a liking to, we have run out of Polish mine detectors.
Oh well.
On the other hand, it also means no more idiots flipping switches without asking first.
So this vault is fascinating. It has satellite communications. It has radio transmitters. It appears to have been some kind of listening post. It even has a deep space radio telescope relay. Well, sadly, the radio telescope's no longer functioning.
Well, damn, that could have been worth a lot.
How in the hell would you haul a radio telescope?
Yeah.
I
A radio telescope is the size of several buildings.
mean, you do realize there's something
Still, a
around.
facility like that with all the parts that it would have.
Yeah, good point. There's plenty to stab it. I mean, just the copper wiring alone is worth its weight.
Like, think bigger. In of itself, it probably wouldn't be used so much, but the parts it would have.
Not to mention, you know,
Oh.
Mom, we might want to hurry, though. He
What?
points to a screen. He goes, that's the satellite relay, and it shows, and you see a top-down picture of the ground, which is the first time you've ever seen this, because none of you, well, you have, Mr. Pre-War Guy, but they have not had the chance to actually see like a bird's eye view of anything in their whole lifetime, having lived on the ground in Blister Tech. You see real-time, top-down shot of the surrounding terrain from the satellite as it's zooming in, and off to the west, you see smoke, dust clouds coming this way.
Uh-oh.
And it
That's-
zooms in, and from the heat signature stuff, you see it is a massive gang of raiders quickly coming this way.
Oh, shit.
You've probably got maybe a day before they arrive.
all right,
Shit!
Percy, could you find out if there's any gasoline in this place?
Reserve supply
Viable.
stocks. He goes to the computer records and shows you what's left, and you've already been there. No, they're not there.
Great, so we can't use the tankettes.
We can't use the walkers.
You might be able to put enough gas in one tankette to make it work for about an hour or two. Other than that, no.
Yeah, and there's no point because I want to fight these guys. I just want to get away from them right now.
Roll your smarts real quick.
We could use alcohol, but I'm not sure where we can find enough.
Doesn't occur to you. Let me see if it occurs to Percy. Nope, he rolled a 1.
Ah.
But it occurred to Bert.
Use alcohol, but I'm not sure where we
No, that's not what I was rolling for.
Oh.
Because
All right, so Bert is right. You still have 4 working, serviceable robot exploratory walkers, and they are currently charging up to get primed. They are nuclear microfission cores, which means that once the battery is charged and ready to go, that microfusion core will work for a good. Sorry, I meant to say fission battery. That fission battery will work for a good month or so before it has to be refueled or replaced.
Okay, well, that's good. You can haul some loot with those. Possibly. Anyway. Thorough map, because obviously they were trying to, like... I'm trying to think here. There was... Can we get, like, more information on the facility itself, like where the most valuable stuff would be and what it would hold? Because obviously, number one...
On that second level where you fought all the bugs is definitely
Yeah.
where the valuable stuff is as far as the computer equipment and the research material and all that kind of stuff. The main problem is going to be hauling it out of here. I'm going to go ahead and in this play session there, but let's do some bookkeeping. Let's start with leveling. So at this point, everybody's had enough experience points to get to level 2. Now the way that they do experience is there's 5 XP needed to advance a level. Normally you give 2 to 3 experience points per game session. I should say per adventure. But this is the first one y'all see the leveling system. I'm going to go ahead and let you go to level 2. When you go up a level in this system, you may do one of 3 things. You may take a new edge. You may increase a attribute by 1 if you're at the proper questing level, which none of you are at yet, so that option's not here. There's only certain levels you can do that. You may increase a skill that is equal to or higher than the linked trait by 1 die type, or you may increase 2 skills below their linked attribute traits by 1 die. So let's say I had a smarts of a D6 and I had a pair of smart skills at a D4. I could put 2 of those skills up to a D6 each. Now, it's been mentioned that some of you are linking skills you don't have.
Yeah. So
Right.
how about getting new skills?
Same thing. So do you want to buy guts?
I don't know, maybe. I'll have to think about it, to be honest.
Okay, if you're buying a new skill is basically like taking a new edge. You can buy a new skill at 1d4 when you go up.
Okay.
Okay.
I will send exact loot things as far as who's got what in what loot haul later during the week. The main problem is going to be transporting it away.
Yeah.
So what I recommend to the party is that they simply mark the location, hire someone's airship to come out here, and then haul it back to the airship, or hire a caravan with a bunch of Brahmin and carts to do that too.
That's
Have
probably a good
to.
idea. All right, what's drive associated with stat-wise,
Uh.
trait-wise?
Drive is an agility skill.
Okay, good.
Now, would it be possible, since you got all them raiders that are coming through, if we lock the vault down?
That's what I was thinking of doing.
With your pit boy, the big thing to do, but remember you did see one of them had some kind of junk tech device to open the doors. And we have the problem, how did they get in here originally?
True, there's that too.
No,
So obviously they got in through the door somehow.
it makes me wonder if that scientist was stupid enough to let him in and didn't realize what he was doing.
Ta-ching.
He woke up first and
Desperate for help.
asked for help. Like I said, I wish that boy had survived because we could have talked to him and figured out what was going on. That's the reason I was so eager to find him. That and he was a kid. Unfortunately, he was dead already. Alright, one thing we have to start doing, folks, is I guess we're going to have to start telling James more precisely what we're doing, because I was assuming as we were talking to Percy, we were locking the door behind us and walking to the elevator and hitting the elevator button and so on. Basically walking and chewing gum at the same time.
Right.
Some of that happened, Matt, because of the crosstalk.
Yeah.
I feel like in this session, this isn't the worst session I've ever had. We'll start with that. But there are definitely a lot of things that happened tonight that I feel shouldn't have happened that we can improve on. Crosstalk needs to be done in whisper voices. Okay? If you're talking while I'm talking and describing a scene that doesn't apply to your character directly, I understand that. But if it's a combat scene, everyone needs to be paying attention. And during the combat scenes, a couple of people were constantly talking to the side while the combat scene was going on. It'd be different like if I have her socializing to a merchant in town and you're having a side conversation with Ray. That's different than in the middle of a gunfight. And can we find that ace that's missing? I always have to buy a new deck of cards.
Oh, the security cameras, they wouldn't have been on earlier, right?
Not until the power came on, no.
Not until the power. Was the power on the whole time or until the...
No, they lost power during the war.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So that wouldn't have had any kind of recording
2077,
about
I
what
believe,
happened.
October 31st, right? Halloween night?
October 23rd,
Oh.
2077.
Okay.
Matt, it might have fallen between the...
That's
The only
possible.
thing I can think of is that it fell between the crack there.
Yeah, let me get my dice up here.
Okay.
One thing at a time, yeah. And unfortunately, I have to go to work here pretty
What
soon.
time
so
is it?
It's almost 9:30.
Jesus.
I have to get home and start washing puppies.
Right.
13?
Yep, 15 freaking puppies.
Okay, so you had a taste now a little bit how the melee system works. And as you can see, so that complains, if someone starts acing out, it gets deadly. That's what they expect you to spend chips for. Right? Spending chips is a great way to make sure that when you get hit hard, no, that did not happen, I soak.
Alright.
Or when you get mobbed, I dump this chip, I'm going to put it into my parry. Now they're trying to mob you and they can't. Alright, so again, those chips represent what makes you a hero. Now, as you can see though it felt deadly, how deadly was it really? Except for one lucky hit on Ruth's character, you all got mauled by gobs and gobs of bad guys. And you didn't take any serious damage, you only took light superficial damage. Right? So as you see, unless you have somebody really like right in your face that's very powerful, you don't have to fear too much one-on-one. You have to fear mobs of people. So when you start thinking tactically in this particular game, start thinking about, okay, there's a mob of 6 over there, chuck the grenade that way.
Kind of like what I did with the card.
Yeah, that fight actually, when I was thinking in my head, went a lot different than you short-circuiting it. I meant that to actually be a very long, everybody pinned in position gunfight with people popping out of cover and popping at one another. And, well, you kind of shortened that.
Yeah, just a little bit.
There's a pin down there. That would have been bad if she gotten her mouth around that.
Yeah, she doesn't really pay attention to pens.
Okay, this is bizarre.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
All right, well, I will locate it later.
Yeah, sorry about that, man.
It happens.
Okay.
Alright, guys, it was fun. Ruth, next week, like I said, I'll bring out some beer, okay?
So
Okay.
this one about side conversations around the table. You are right. Clear definitions of actions would be better. I think that one actually though felt to me. Not saying specifically, your turn, go. Tell me what you're doing. Your turn, go. Tell me what you're doing. I'll be more official about that next game session.
Like I said too, once we had the actions, the fight with the scorpions over with, however, that's not necessarily a turn situation. That's purely a role playing situation.
But it even happened during just role playing situations where I had to say something twice.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't clear what people were doing.
We also weren't clear to you because my assumption in my head was, well, of course we're going to shut the door behind us and walk towards the elevator.
What I'm saying is we got there because assumption being made by you guys, and I wasn't, as the GM, saying, no, I need to specifically know what you're doing in what process.
Yeah. And then that was a situation where,
Wow, these are the original books, James.
Which ones?
Conan.
They're Conan's.
That's actually a gift from Sheffield.
That's nice. Look at this artwork, man. You just can't beat this artwork, dude.
John Buscema was a god.
I mean, you just look at this.
So was Ernie Chan, but he doesn't get the same kind of love.
What I find strange is if you look at all the original
Ernie Chan was who I grew up on.
all the original Conan the Barbarian Marvel comics and the King Conans, they're like negligible now in terms of price compared to other books. I don't understand why.
Yes and no. So this is the thing about any collectible, you have to be careful who you market it to. If I'm marketing to somebody who's a Conan fanatic, I can easily get that thing up to $50 or $60 a book. I just have to be marketing it to the right person.
Wow,
Part of it is that when
I got a whole stack of Savage Court sort of Conans, like in better than good condition for like less than $10.
yeah, because of where you are. The market here in Florida probably isn't conducive to it. But if you were, say, in New York or
Okay.
or major urban center,
Yeah.
probably get more for it. The main thing is you have to remember with collectibles is demand for the collectible in seasonal times. Now Marvel recently has gotten the rights for Conan back, and they're releasing a new line of comics. They're also talking about maybe possibly releasing a new line of Savage Sword,
Ooh.
all color.
All color.
See, I'm actually disappointed that Dark Horse lost it because Dark Horse, not being Marvel, was able to have a more adult feel to the comics. Much more in line with Howard's original books. They didn't have to actually edit anything.
All right, people. You guys have a great night.
You too.
I'll see you guys next week, okay?
Yep.
Thank you, James.
You're welcome.
Ruth. Coffee. I'll see you next week, okay, honey?
Take it easy, Raymond.